G'day Craig, it's Jason Hawkins here from KND Digital. We briefly met at the Gold Coast Business Expo about 10 days ago. And I promised you I'd do a review of your site as you entered our competition on the day at our stand. So here it is. I'm going to look at different parts of your web strategy, your website, how users interact with your website, and make some informed comments around some of the improvements you can make on those in this site. Have a look at some health issues of from a technical level, some search ranking issues and success or otherwise of how that's rolling in your site. Perhaps a quick look at some competitors and how they're doing in this space. There's obviously, accounting and financial services is a very crowded market, so it can be very challenging to actually cut through in this space, but it is possible. I think there's lots of opportunity to actually be a little bit more aggressive in what you're doing, and perhaps maybe back in the day, international professional services in the online environment was a valued commodity. You get further reach than your local area or your region or your state or your country for that matter. So I think the way Google now works with giving location services some impact, that it could be a chance to sort of refocus how you are positioning your site to better target your local area, Gold Coast, for example, or Gold Coast, Brisbane, Southeast Queensland, whatever that might be. So I'll work my way through the site now. Essentially, it's a professional website with a professional design and your logo, etc. You're not struggling in that area. What I'm seeing though is probably the use of stock photography takes the connection out of you and your team and how they interact with your staff. And I'll show you some competitors and how they deal with that a little bit more closely. For example, your team is the first menu item in the screen in your navigation, and that's great. You probably know that your team pages are the most visited site pages instead of your services or your homepage. So it's in a B2B environment, interacting with different people. People connect with people. Businesses connect with people in business. So it's really important that this page is really solid, and your profiles are quite solid, albeit I found it a bit strange to land on this page and go to an empty boardroom. You would think you're talking about people, you would want to see people interacting. I think you could really benefit from doing a photo shoot in a casual environment with your team interacting with other people. If that's stills or video, whatever that might be, there's some opportunity there for you to go down that path. So the other thing, as we drop down into, let's have a look at the homepage. So your homepage, from a visual perspective, we're connecting with the Gold Coast. That's great. You've got business advisory and a couple of slides here. You might notice that these are links, but these links don't work. They're malformed. So you'll need to get your web guy to look at just setting up these links in the right way. On a mobile, they don't work as well. Although they are clickable, you would think it'd go click to call, bang, connect through, but that doesn't do that. It fails. So there's just a bad link. You can see it down the bottom there, how that doesn't work correctly. Who we are, very high level again. This is kind of looks like stock. It may not be stock, but it's a bit of a nothing style image. And then I do really like your positioning statement of clarity, assured, and freedom. I think you could explore those a little bit more in your top line up here, with how that connects with each of your pillars of services that you offer. You can do some really nice collection of clarity around business advisory, freedom around business advisory, assured around business advisory. The team is great. As I said before, having those on the homepage is excellent. I'll click through to you, Craig, and a big profile, nice headshot, this and qualifications, etc. The one step you could go forwards from here would be to connect in some blog articles or any white papers or published expertise in this space that you have going on. That's not a difficult thing. You're in WordPress. You could launch a blog style latest news and advice and tips in this space. You've got your areas of expertise, which is excellent, but you could back that up with, hey, here's my white paper on X. Here's the latest advice that we could give you as a team. The newsletter is great to have, but you probably hardly get any inquiry through here. Usually, newsletter sign-ups don't get a lot unless there's something to give back. So, for example, if the person's been browsing the site for a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds or 15 seconds, or clicked 2 or 3 pages, I would convert this into a popover that's, hey, subscribe to our latest monthly tax and super tips newsletter. And commit to doing that newsletter on a regular basis. That would really take that to another level. The services, again, here's where I'm talking about global, international versus the local. So business advisory, you do all the usual accounting, bookkeeping, licensing, budgeting. There's a lot of services there, all jammed into sort of one page above the fold. This could be expanded out, and if you were to be targeting it from an SEO perspective to rank in Google a little bit more, it's worth thinking about the local connection with that. Servicing Gold Coast and business. Put some in these pages. You need to build trust, right? So how do you build trust? It's using your your tax institute and certified chartered accountants, etc. Logos in the page up here. Hey, trusted advisors, we are your trusted advisors in these fields. Also the use of your testimonials. I know you've got a testimonial page, but like how you have it on the home page, you have these this type of thing going on, the carousel of testimonials. That is great. I would also have that on your services pages and your business advisory. Now, to go one step further, if your core client base is on the Gold Coast, I would be saying, business advisors Gold Coast in this top line area. You want to start thinking more locally to tell Google, I know you're doing this here, but it would be benefit more if this was a heading 1, nice bold. So you kind of started to go there, but you haven't gone there very hard. And also separating these out into, separate, more separate pages perhaps, or more blocked down the page in a more interactive environment. I like, the free consultation, sign up now is great, but it actually doesn't do anything when I click on it. It goes to the top of the page. So that should at least either go to your contact page or launch, again, a popover, quick form inquiry that's going to go through to the appropriate person to get answered quickly. So the reason why I'm talking about these location-based solutions. So I'll run your site through this auditing tool related to 2 things. One is the health of the site and one is performance tracking of some of your key phrases. And I have injected a few of those key phrases just quickly into, so here's Business Advisory Gold Coast. superannuation services Gold Coast, tax accountant Gold Coast, tax agent Gold Coast, bookkeeper Gold Coast, financial services Gold Coast. So currently you're not ranking at all. You've got zero visibility in those phrases. You are in position 50, so page 5 or page 6 on Google for Business Advisory Gold Coast. So you do have some, albeit you won't be getting a lot of traffic from that. Your visibility is 0.2% compared to your competitors. So you've got some plenty of upside to go for your position ranking. Hence why I'd encourage you to think about your page content and really work at fleshing those pages out. Again, we've got a copywriter that could assist you to do that, to really expand out that gut. So Google actually likes those pages and starts to list those pages. Obviously, you've been in business a long time, so you will benefit from an older domain name, if you like, but it's got to have fresh content and it's got to have a unique content in it. Some of the health issues related to this, to the site, and it goes back to the sort of the SEO stuff as well. You're ranking 75% site health, which isn't too bad. I've seen a lot worse there, but you do have errors, and these errors are around duplicate content. Google hates duplicate content, some broken links, and that's what I've talked about with those telephone links and the email links on the homepage. And you've got duplicate title tags. So there's a whole bunch of SEO overhaul sort of things you could do on the site to clean it up. Don't worry so much about that. That's just over the top. But getting these errors down to zero is certainly would be a thing to focus on. Let's have a look at your Google sort of listing, I guess, or your search. I've searched for you directly, international professional services, and just to see your Google My Business profile. So you've made an effort to get these Google reviews. I'd be pushing those into parts of your site if you can. I'll show you a competitor shortly that has done that effectively. There's a tool to do that. People connect with third-party reviews, not necessarily just testimonials on your site, but the fact if you can get your Google reviews, really work on those profiles, getting those reviews solid, and then injecting them onto the site lends that gravitas to your position in your profile when people are reading down the page to say, oh, you've got 50 Google reviews and you're ranked 4.5 stars out of 50. That's great. So have a think about how you could incorporate that perhaps into your workflow a little bit more. I know you made an effort probably 12 months ago to clean up that profile a little bit more. So I'd be doing that again. You can put your own photos in this area here as well. So at the moment, this is going through to, I think, your office space of where you are, but they're all empty photos. So you could actually work on that and put team images and make that a really personal experience. This is like a walkthrough of an office that's deserted. Not a good look for that initial sort of screen here. So you can really, you can jazz that up quite significantly. Back to a little bit of technical work. Your site's loading. You don't have a lot of assets in your site, like images and videos and all that sort of thing that are going to slow it down. So this is just an overview of the load speed of the site, and you're getting first by time, A's here. You haven't done any sort of static caching of stuff, but essentially your site is loading pretty well. 3.4 seconds is excellent, really. But you don't have much going on there, so that's why it's actually loading quite quickly. Nothing to see here really of any issues that are jumping out. So if we did just to do a quick look at some of your, when I'm talking about some of the examples of content and sort of people interacting in your site. If I do a Google search for accountants Gold Coast, these guys rank quite well for Gold Coast accountants. So actually, they're number one for Gold Coast, and you can see this trusted Gold Coast accountants. Top line with a video of the real business and real people in. Oh, they've got a flush. This sort of thing. Now, you might consider this to be over the top, but nice smiling faces of real people and the team interacting in a friendly environment. That is really, really good. It's what Google is looking for. I love this kind of for you, for business. It's really identifying, is it personal or is it for business? It's doing all the right things here as far as what Google is wanting. And that's what I mean about this kind of make it personal. You could do that with stills. You don't need video necessarily, but that's the key to some good online work is that jumping straight in. Let's have a look at this business page and see what I mean here. So it's dropping you into specific pages related to all of these. So they've done a lot of work. It's not all real photography. Some of it's stock photography, which is okay in a small amount, but you can get a sense of it's got a real feel to it and a real brand. Yours needs a little bit of work in that space, I would think. Another one is for Gold Coast SMSF, so Self Managed Super Funds Gold Coast. Even just this top line image is a retired couple on the beach. This, people are connecting with people on your site. I know it's easy on yours to go, yep, we're on the Gold Coast and this is what it is, but people don't connect with that. You need those people shots, and if it's real shots of your team and your business in situ is fantastic. That's enough about your competitors. I love what you're doing with your payments, making invoice payments really easy. That's cool. I wish businesses would do that more often to make those integrations with your payment gateways a little bit smoother. And yeah, I think the testimonials, as I said, adding weight to your testimonials by having a third party deliver those testimonials is a little bit stronger than these. And well, if you could connect in these with like a video or photo, would be the utopian type of thing. Contact us again. That's pretty straightforward, but you've seen that there's a bit of work to be done around getting those inquiries flowing in a more smoother way, perhaps in context within each page as well. So there's plenty of opportunity for upside. Need probably a little bit of reinvention around what your brand is doing and connecting with people. It's very easy for services type businesses to fall into the style that you've got going on, which is pretty straight up and down. But the internet's demanding a little bit more of that these days, a bit more of a connection with people. I've spoken, there's no, the only other mobile issues, how this looks and behaves on a mobile is just that, the click to call on this first home banner is failing. So, take a look at that quickly. You may be missing out on inquiry there just because there's not going to anyone. So thank you very much, Craig, for the opportunity to have a look at your site. We can help you take your site to the next level, and I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about that if you're up for it, and take you on that journey of reinvention, if you like. But thanks very much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.